My name is Andrea Harrison. I'm very proud to be part of the quintessential riders platform as a dressage coach. This is my horse principal's real Rob Roy. He is a medium to a level horse. We are situated in Glenwood Stables, my yard in Kyalami, South Africa. There's three very important parts to remember about safety. Safety for the rider, safety for the horse, and a safe environment. For safety for the rider, we have to insist and ensure that we have a correct fitting helmet. I have shatterproof sunglasses, gloves to protect your hands, correct leggings, FEI regulated boots with a heel, and spurs that are correct and legal. For the horse, again, a correctly fitting bridle and saddle. The bandages are there to protect the horse and give them support. The overreach boots also protect them from overreaching and accidentally injuring themselves. So for a safe environment, we make sure that the dogs are locked away and that there's no objects around that the horses can injure themselves on. For today's session, we're going to be focusing on the half-halt and the full halt. It's very important, in fact it's vital, that when you start with a warm-up, you get into your horse. You find the rhythm, let him walk underneath you, that the two of you get a conversation going about what's happening. See how he feels today. Give your body time to warm up and get into it, and him the same. So here he's stretching nicely downwards, forwards to the contact from my seat. But then he starts to take over and offer a little bit of his own magic. So what is a half-halt? A half-halt is a combination of all the aids, being the weight aid, the leg aid, the seat aid, into the hand. It's a forward driving aid with a non-yielding hand. And it's a very brief moment that you push your leg aid, your weight aid and your seat aid into the hand. And what's important afterwards is the release. So we don't shorten the neck, but instead we allow the hind leg to step up and underneath us. So for sure I will demonstrate what I've been talking about now. I'm going to lower my weight down, close the calf, push from my seat into the hand. See how he comes closer together from behind to the front. That was a good boy, we like that. He did too by the look of it. Good. So why do we use half-halts? A half-halt is to rebalance a horse, to change the pace within the pace, to make a transition within a pace. Or to go from pace to pace. Again, it's a preparation for every single exercise, a setup through the corner, a setup after the corner. It's a way to test if the horse is on your aids, willingly in self-carriage and in front of your leg. So once again, I will try and demonstrate a half-halt where I briefly push my weight aids, leg aids and hand aids in, that's a good boy, into a non-yielding hand. That he comes underneath more with the hind legs. So the half-halt has got everything to do with timing and the rider's timing with the horse's movement. What you will get to understand eventually, the more you ride, the quicker your skills become, the better your timing is, the better the horse behaves, the better the balance is. Half-halts are important throughout the whole of the training scale and the whole of all the levels that you do. So now I'd like to demonstrate what is a half-halt and how it affects a turn. So in preparation, I'm going to affect my half-halt with my weight aids, my leg aid, my seat aid. I open guiding hand and I push him forward through to the bit. That's it. And I'll demonstrate once again so you can see that with the half-halt, which I'm executing now, that he gets a little bit more up and under in the balance and stays in a true way into the outside rein contact coming out of the corner. One more for good luck. Activation, leg aids, seat aids, driving aids, into a half-halt, open guiding inside hand, and non-yielding outside rein. The half-halt is used throughout the dressage career as an indicator to what comes, and it tests the skills of the rider, it tests the responsiveness to the horse, and whether the horse is in front of your leg and your aids are listening to you or not. As I said before, and I cannot say it enough, as the horse must remain in front of you with a willingness to go forward. So we are not stopping it. In fact, what we're doing is encouraging the energy up and under, that the hind leg takes the weight more in the center of gravity, and that the horse is therefore always willing to go forward afterwards. So how do we achieve a full halt? A full halt is executed through lots of little half halts with a non-yielding hand at the other end in a straight line. So weight aids, leg aids into hand, good boy. And the half halts are trying to make sure that he's balanced on the hind legs and soft weighting in front. Your leg aids are still on, your weight aid is still there, your seat aid is still there, into the reins. Now he's soft and submissive. We don't want to pull them back. They should always be ready to go in a forward way. So we ask for more forward again. Good man. So now he starts to spread out a little bit in my hands. So I'm asking him with a little half halt to come back to me. Good. Did you see the difference? How did that change his balance? Got him much more underneath. Now we ask for a full halt, where we really take the hind legs into the front end. And he's soft and submissive through the neck. He's on my aids, he's waiting. He's not stepping backwards. If the horse does step backwards or sideways, we never ever correct it by going backwards. We always correct it in a forwards direction. Okay. So the way we know that the horse comes closer together is that the whole body becomes more engaged. The hind legs get shorter and quicker, more underneath the center of gravity. And he becomes what we term eventually a little bit more collected. So the balance is more on the hind legs and less in the hand. And we're looking in the way of going for the horse to be in a good shape, in a good outline, with the neck down in front, the bum down behind, and the back up in the middle, like a rugby ball. So when I ask him to come underneath a little bit more, like there, he offers a little bit too much. Good boy. And by that I mean he offered almost little half steps. I'm just asking for a slight collection. So I'll ask it again and repeat. And this is what it's all about. Repeat the half halts. Repeat the exercise until we learn exactly what it is that horses learn through positive repetition, the correct way of going, and for the welfare of the horse. So here I feel his hind leg is stepping out, you see. So he wasn't balanced into my hand, so we had a backward step. And as I said before, we never correct the backward step by making them back up square. It's always forward. So ideally, we're looking for the horse to stop on equal balance from both legs into both reins. Good boy. The important parts to remember about a half halt is, what are you looking for afterwards? What does it do for you? It should change the balance of the horse. It should have a positive outcome afterwards, that the horse is more in front of you. It fine-tunes your aids in making sure that you're testing, is he listening to me? I'm setting him up correctly for the next movement, and we go forward from there. For the full halt, you want to make sure that, of course, if the half halts aren't working, then the full halt won't work. The points to remember for your seat aids and your leg aids and the aids in general is you want to use your weight, your leg and your seat aids into your hand, and it's a forward push into a non-yielding hand. We're never pulling back, but we're pushing him forward on so that the hind leg comes up and under, the back comes up underneath you, and the horse lowers in front The hind legs come closer together that the horse becomes more compact and submissive, therefore in a better way of going. So a demonstration once again of a correct half-halt, weight aids leg aid into hand, and then instant release. So the horse is rebalanced, he's come more into gravity. The incorrect half-halt, hold on too long, pull him back, you see he resists. That's exactly what we're not after. We want soft forward, happy horse, down to the bit, submissive through the neck. And then a halt transition. Now an incorrect transition into the halt, if the rider leans back behind the vertical and pushes like this, that the horse is now leaning and he's backing off my aids. And the reason they're doing that is that the rider hasn't fully understood or grasped then what the concept of a half-halt is. The aid needs to be forward driving, not backwards. And we don't want to put the horse's back low down, we want to bring it up. So it's a forward driving aid into the hand that is submissive and soft and waiting on your aids. So after you've finished your exercise, very important to cool down the horse. Let them stretch downwards, forwards to the limit of the contact and the connection. And by that I mean he's taking the nose forward. He's taking the bit from me and he's stretching the whole of his body and loosening. So he can relax it through his body, but more importantly as well, that the brain has time to process what he's learned. So that tomorrow we can put it back into action and the horse has had time to process everything without tension and stress.